Live.
Live. All right. 3, 2, 1. And we're back live at the Shane and Kohler Show, episode 3. Today is April 18th. No, it's April 21st. April 21st. Holy, that was a bad note. Bad note. Bad note. Bad start. Shane and Kohler Show presented to you by Number One City. Number One City actually going live today. It is Shane and I's company. Tell them a little about Number One City, Shane.
Well, as you know, I worked in Detroit for almost 2 years before. Lived downtown Detroit. Loved it. Would always go on my balcony after drinking or just early in the morning and yell off "Number One City, baby," and it just kind of stuck. Dom actually got me that hat with Number One City on the back, so kind of wanted to put it together in a idea of kind of like a clothing brand, telling it off the bat. Um, More of a kind of a rugged aspect of true Detroiters and everything, but saw more potential with. I mean, we've done a podcast and stuff in the past, so just putting Detroit more on the map with everything going on here, all the sports.
Yes, and Detroit is where Number One City is starting, but any city can be Number One City,
That's true.
and that is what's most important. So, I
No,
mean, the dream is one day we'll have Number One City merch on everything.
the
I
best
mean,
part about it right now is that this is so early. It's our third episode of this filming with an idea and trying to make all of it happen. So hopefully we'll look back like a year from now and these will be in the archives like
yeah, like damn, we sucked. Um,
we'd still
yeah,
be
so
like, hey man, like a year from now, hey man, we're up to four subs. You need Casey Schwann. Like,
we're averaging one a month, which is pretty good.
no, it's gonna be media, and I mean some, obviously have some merchandise out there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have media covering everything, entertainment, music, sports.
The thing
We
I
are
want
live
out
live
there,
today on
yeah,
Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Channel just went up, and the first 3 episodes will be on there tonight.
I,
Um,
I just need
yeah.
to get back to normal so we can get out and like, I think doing, interviews in the streets of Detroit or
Yeah, I want to get out and do some field work,
exactly.
I need my talents shown.
You're gonna have to tape it to like a broomstick probably for the foreseeable future.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, corporate America is really taking a toll on me, and we'll talk about that later. But um, let's get to our first real topic of the day, and it's something that I kind of realized last time we talked on the podcast, and I've been asking around, and I think I might have confirmed. Like, this is breaking news. We have breaking news here. You heard it here first on the Shane and Kohler show. Um, Girls don't have foot fetishes, as far as I know. If there's anybody that breaks that mold, let me know. Like, you like toes and like you get like getting fingered with a big toe. But as far as I know, everybody I've asked, like, which is at least like 5 girls, maybe more, um, they don't have it. They don't have a foot fetish, and they don't know anybody else that does. So
I don't think
that's
that.
a lot. If you think about the the girl trees that is, that's like, because I mean, I asked a girl here, I asked a girl in Michigan, I asked another girl in Michigan, and a fourth girl in Michigan, and yeah, none of them know a single girl that's into like foot stuff. Like, they're like, oh, like how dudes have foot fetishes, which is like a weird thing to me, but it's like a known
I don't
thing.
understand that to begin with.
Say again.
I don't understand that to begin with.
I don't understand that either. Like, I don't know what about a girl's foot would get a dude off, but it's a big thing.
Well, yeah, absolutely, a man's foot's not going to be more appealing than a female's foot, and I can see why female probably aren't attracted to it.
I mean, I got cute ass feet. We already established that.
I rub feet. Like I'll give my girlfriend a foot rub, but there's nothing erotic about it.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I've received a foot rub before, but like I don't think that the female was sexually aroused by the foot rub as much as they were by my rock hard body. But yeah, I don't get I like I mean think of it. Have you ever heard of any girl be into a foot fetish? Because I've never heard of it, and this is kind of just confirming my point.
Well, I
Like,
talked about it a little bit the first time. I don't think I went into detail, but a guy that I used to work with, his new girlfriend sold pictures of her feet online to guys.
yeah.
She made a couple $100 like off of it, I think like every week. And then he told me he asked her if there was a market for men's feet. She said yes. So I don't know who he began selling these pictures of his feet,
Mm,
but he was definitely looking in.
mm.
I don't really want to follow up with the guy. He's kind of an oddball. Um,
But is it a market for men's feet for men, or is it a market for men's feet for women? Still unconfirmed.
don't know. I don't think that his feet would have sold very well, just judging by his
I know. And I
image.
feel like if that was, there would be a whole genre of porn of dudes like with big feet putting their big toes and girls. I feel like it'd be a whole genre.
I don't have you. Did you do any search on? Did you do any googling?
It'd be like a whole Pat McAfee segment of porn where it's just like dudes kicking girls in the crotch and they're like, "Oh,
Did you?
yes."
I don't know. There's some weird stuff out
Like
there.
the guy's like I can get ankle deep, and she's like no you can't, and then but so I don't know, I haven't done that sort of research yet, but I am thinking about it, and I think I might go into it
You
more
definitely
tonight.
do on work hours. Absolutely do it on work hours. Don't do this at home. You may develop one of these fetishes. You need to be at work to where
I
you
know, but I don't have any fetishes that I know of, so like
mission
maybe this could be mine.
strictly missionary.
Like maybe like I don't have any weird ones, but like maybe I'm into like putting my feet into the female body.
It sounds really unsanitary. Feels like a new virus is going to start from it. I wouldn't mix the two. I don't know. Could depend. I mean, a lot of people. Maybe it's more in the warmer states where it's a lot more sandals and I mean, I don't know. I feel like my feet are bundled up for 7 months of the year.
Hey man, so I live in Texas, flip flop weather, almost like 10 months out of the year. Can't beat it. Like,
We'll look into that. I'll do a brief Google search. I'm not going to get. I'm going
no,
to be
you
brief.
need to ask. You need to ask all the girls you know, like at least five, just so we can confirm this.
Maybe in other states, or should it be from Michigan? Because I feel like we're very
I
focused.
I feel like we've cornered the Michigan market. Like we've probably like with all the girls I've asked, it's probably all the girls under the age of 30 in Michigan already that we've asked pretty much. So maybe
Hold
if
on,
they're over 30.
but did they say anything about guys telling them that they have foot fetishes? That's
Oh
another.
yeah, I feel like almost every like attractive girl I know has a weird guy foot story of some sort. One of my friends, she actually got a message, like a DM, and the guy was like, "Hey, like I will send you $400, $500 for pictures of your feet." I'm imagining his voice didn't sound like that. It was more like, "Hello, I will spy pictures of your feet for $500." But because obviously he's probably from like Georgia or something, and
The country, not the
so
state.
yeah, so yeah, she's like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and then she's like, "Kohler, I need a picture of your foot." And I'm like, why? And she's like, so I can sell it to this guy. And I'm like, well, I get half at least. And she agreed. Um, Big mistake. I have a tattoo on my foot that showed. Also, we didn't shave the. I have little hairs. It's not like a gross amount of hair. It's like little hairs on my big toe and a little bit on the top of my foot. Also, I have a giant scar. Well, it's kind of faded. It's kind of faded, but I have a giant scar from when I kicked in a car windshield when I was in high school with flip flops on. Um, it was very bloody, but didn't go to the doctor. But yeah, so all of that was in there, and the guy kind of concluded it wasn't a female's foot.
It was someone from prison based off of the scar.
Yeah, it didn't look like that. Like whose gigantic hairy ass? My leg was in it, so there's like my leg hair in it, and like, needless to say, I did not make $250 that day. We did not think that well out. Um, we may have been intoxicated at the time of doing this. Uh,
I mean, it's
so
pretty,
if we weren't intoxicated, I'd like to think I would have shaved everything that would have been in the picture, and he would have not even known. And we would have taken probably the picture of my non-scarred, non-tattooed foot.
how do you follow up on that? Say, hey, here's my Venmo. And then he just makes a public payment for just a foot emoji.
Yeah, again, thing didn't go through. He did not accept the terms or the he basically just didn't accept anything. He kind of cursed her out for using my foot, even though my foot's probably cuter than her giant dinosaur foot. But whatever.
Well, we'll follow up on that. I don't really know. It's weird, but I mean, people are in a
I'm
weird.
just saying ask around. I'm just saying this might be like a confirmed breaking news on this show, the first breaking news of our show. So it's kind of a big deal. Like kind of a big deal.
I don't. I think this isn't. I don't think it's a very well traveled topic. I don't think it's too much in depth. So,
Yeah, no, I've never heard anybody talk about it, to be honest with you. So
well, we'll see what happens. I see it on Twitter all the time with people's feet flying around, and I don't know how they come across me. So, I don't know. It's all in that
okay.
only stuff. Love. I mean, it's whatever. Find whatever way you want it. Next topic. Bachelor presents. Listen to your heart.
Yeah, Bachelor the musical. Listen to your heart.
Awful name. Awful name. Bachelor presents. Like,
Yeah. I I didn't watch the first episode. So um you watched the first episode. I watched last night's episode, but I was also editing videos and writing while I was doing it. So I wasn't paying very good attention except to the one guy that kind of looks like me a little bit. Um
Sheridan
yeah,
McDonald from Austin, Texas.
from Austin where I live. Yeah.
It's not. He continues to chase this girl who he's already in love with, as he's been stating, and she is just all over that other dude making out. And I mean,
Yeah, the dude that didn't pick her.
yeah, it's hard. Yeah, he didn't even pick her. It's such a hard back and forth with all these people. There's people interchanging every week. It's literally like a musical Bachelor in Paradise. It's the most odd thing. Um, Honestly, it's hard to. I was going to write a blog on it. I don't even know where the hell to begin. It's all individual stories that are so fast, and there's there's this one girl that actually her name's Jamie. You know, the young one that full of energy that was with a guy who was cheating on her ex, whatever it may be. She literally the first episode thought that she was on The Bachelor by acting like there's a date card. She was just losing it, jumping from like person to person, acting like she was at the Bachelorette, and that all the people that were coming in were for her. Like, someone came in and looked like a card, and she goes up. They're like, "What's this? What's this?" And she goes, "It's a date card," and like runs up and like gets all excited. It's just an odd. I don't
Was she
even,
super bummed when she found out there was other girls there?
dude. Yeah, like right off the,
Yeah.
it's like competition. There's a guy from Michigan that's on there. He's from Dearborn Heights.
Hmm.
Uh, fuck, Ryan, tall guy.
Ryan. That's a very common name. Um,
I don't know what you took from it. I think there's actual people there that like each other, and the other people are literally just using it, like all the other people in
yeah,
Bachelor.
so they get views on their music.
Yeah, there's a guy that was already on
Music.
American Idol that's on there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just literally it's tier for them, and he like you can just tell how they're putting on just this fake like acting. I mean, they're entertainers, so they probably have some sort of acting experience too from a drama or some sort of class in the past, and you could just tell they're just fucking playing these cards to stay in the show. so they get more attention and to try to grow their musical career, obviously, which I get. I don't think there's ever going to be a love show that actually works from people going on and singing together like that. Like there's, I don't see it working.
Absolutely not. And I'm not going to listen to a single one of these people's songs. Like, I will not. I'm not in it for the music. Let's be real. I'm in it for the drama and the love. And when I watched The Bachelor, which I just kind of recently started watching The Bachelor, like I watched Bachelor in Paradise and then this
For season
season
one.
of Bachelor, and then I started watching this, and I boo more than anything else when I watch these shows. Like, I can't help but boo. Like, these are the worst decision makers I think I've ever seen in reality TV shows. Like, they're worse decision makers than like Jersey Shore. Like,
I agree with that. That's a very valid point.
not only are they awful decision makers, but they say like the worst, most cheesy shit that pisses me off every single time. I wrote some of them down for you.
Oh God,
Um,
I know.
so automatic boo, automatic. I'm booing. I'm mad when somebody says you're my person. Cannot stand it. I am not about it. No, bad. Especially somebody that you've just met within a week. You know.
They're artists, Kohler. It feels deeper.
No, this is a bachelor thing. This is a bachelor thing. It's not an artist thing.
They're all right. Continue.
Okay. My person. Hate it. No more of it. When somebody says, you're my home,
I
no,
would.
they're not. No, they're not. I can't stand when people say, you're my home. Pisses me off. And this isn't a I hate love thing or like I'm mad because I'm single and lonely thing. This is a I love love and I love rom coms and I love like I've seen Dear John probably 50 times.
We love
But
the
like,
Kohler.
okay, you know what? All right. Saying you're my home pisses me off.
I don't like
Big
that.
no.
I'll tell you the ones that I don't like if you missed them.
Last one that I wrote down. I know that there's more. I know that I could probably if I go through like footage, if I went back and checked the tapes. If I check tape, I can come up with probably a whole episode worth of things I hate from the show that they say. But the last one is when they say like, what's your love language?" But how do you love? Like I would be on the couch, I'd be like sarcasm. I don't know. I like they're like mine's touch, and I'm like yeah, you touch me in the right spots. Everybody's gonna get amused or aroused. I think you know
I don't really get
like
the one that drives me crazy is genuine and here for the right reasons.
like they to validate why they're there.
It's always a
Like
thing,
cause you know we're all at home saying, this bitch just wants more followers.
guys. And then the undercutting of everyone running over to throw someone on the bus.
Oh, the
Just
like
like
the whole like
he would make literally a decision based off of, and he may be the worst decision maker.
oh, you're talking about Peter Weber.
Yeah.
I would like to have. I know I'm not to this level yet, but I want to have that. Would if I could pick anybody to be my first like Twitter beef, like internet trolling, like me and him go at it, and he's like, you know what, fuck you, man. That's who I would want it to be with. I don't think
I don't think he has it in him.
Peter Weber is the most like the biggest just mouth breathing idiot I think I've ever that's ever been on TV. Like we all know that he just brought the three girls that he thought he wanted to bang the most. He didn't pick the ones that he was most connected to. He was like, okay, like he
Kill me.
forgot that the black girl was there for the whole season until the producers were like, she doesn't work here. Like she's part of the show. And then like and so then he brings the three girls that he wants to bang. Then he gets mad because the one's like, oh, I'm not gonna bang you. And then he's like, he still sends home the one that he should have ended up with anyways, because we know like that's who he should have ended up with. He's an idiot. And then yeah, and then so he's down to two, and then he picks the wrong one again. And then it goes to the reunion episode, and he's like, he did like that stupid. He does that thing where he puts his head below them and looks up,
Tries to
and
do
you're
like
like,
puppy dog eye kind of deal.
dude, I can't stand that man. Fuck you, Peter Weber. I want you. Me and you.
For
Let's
Bachelor in
dance.
Paradise to start because the listen to your heart thing is, I think, it's like kind of like the XFL to the NFL, but it's just way
Yeah.
shittier. It's like the
Yeah.
AAFL. That's what this is like.
The AAF, like the funding is gonna get canceled. And they're gonna be like,
And I was reading the tweets right after it. It's like, shit. Uh,
am I gonna have to bleep that out?
um, yeah, because that 5 years from now will come up from this when we're sitting on a fucking. I'm gonna have a fucking attack. My career will be ruined.
we're gonna sell the company to Barstool Sports for like $250 million, and then like the whole deal's gonna get frozen and like put on hold because that clip gets dug up, and the company just value tanks and overnight and it becomes worth nothing. And then you're gonna be like, Kohler, I told you we should have bleeped that part out. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I was eating a hot pocket after work, and I didn't want to put the extra time to put the bleep sound in.
Yeah, that's gotta go. Gotta go.
Okay, I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it. But it'll be fun for people to guess what we're talking about is right now.
So yeah, I can't wait that to be over. The Twitter comments are hilarious, ripping it apart, telling them how stupid, awful idea it was. One of the tweets was, "I thought this was an SNL skit when I saw it on TV."
It was. I mean, it was pretty bad,
I did
and
like.
it's
I did
got the added
like
cheesy
bits and
element
pieces.
of music.
They need to do more music. I think they should have a sing off, and they bring like Peter
Well,
Weber. They bring Peter Weber to be a judge, and he just gives tens to every hot girl he wants to bang. Yes, that was a beautiful rendition of "Happy Birthday." 10.
um,
I hope he becomes on the Bachelor in Paradise thing. I fucking hope.
yeah. I mean, that would be. Have they ever had like one of the people that was the Bachelor, Bachelorette come on to Bachelor in Paradise as like a?
No, I haven't. I just started watching this last summer. I That was the first time I watched Bachelor in Paradise, which led to
It's interesting.
Bachelor, and now this show. I'm 29, and now I just fucking love garbage reality TV.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I've always been a big garbage reality TV guy.
I mean, I've always liked Jersey Shore. I've always liked. I didn't like the Bachelor stuff because of the same shit that they repeat over and over again. But when you actually see someone there that they like, oh, they'd be actually good together, and then they just fuck it all up, it's kind of funny to watch go burning in flames. And you
Yeah,
get
I mean,
wine, a bunch of wine, and if you go to like a girl's house, they have a bunch of snacks laid out. So I mean, it's a win-win.
yeah, no, and basically just based off of who I am as a person, people are like surprised that I watched that show. I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I don't watch it because I'm like into the show that much per se, which I mean, I kind of am. I'm not gonna lie, I am into the show. Like, I know all the people, like, I know their names, I know their kind of their backstories, I know their personalities, but it's more so just because I like seeing people fail. And these people fail more than anybody else. Like, let's talk about the biggest failure. I'm going to call somebody else out here right now. The guy that looks kind of like me a little bit. He looks like me and then another guy we know combined into one person. And that's Sheridan from Austin, Texas. This guy's
Hey, he seems like
seems
a
like
nice
he
guy.
seems like a super nice guy. Like he seems like a too nice guy.
He seems like he's genuine and that he's there for the right reasons.
Yeah, he's actually
Like
there.
for real.
Like he's there for like Bachelor season 1, like before social media was there.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's there for.
Go on.
And then you want to what?
I want to hear your take. What we're saying. Sheridan, go.
Oh, Sheridan, I'm still in the middle of it. Yeah. So like he's actually like good guy, like there for the right reason. He picks this girl who she was like, oh, my last relationship didn't work out because I had cystic fibrosis or something.
That was her.
And
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it was that girl. I don't know her name actually. So it was like Michelle or something. I don't know. I just threw that out there. I don't know if it's actually Michelle. So sorry for all the Michelles out there watching the show. So Sheridan talks to this cystic fibrosis girl, which I actually had to Google because I thought it was like a skin condition. It turns out it's actually much more serious than that.
Yeah,
Um,
like kill
but
people or
yeah, I honestly didn't know it's cystic fibrosis, or I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly what it is. Anyways, way off topic. Sheridan asks her out. They have a good time. They go on the radio and sing live, and it's actually they were pretty good live. I'm not gonna lie, they were
yeah.
good live together, and they make out or whatever. They get back to the house, and then my boy Sheridan sits down with his notepad, and he's like, I'm gonna write this girl a love song. I'm gonna finish this shit early.
Super
I'm
nice.
putting this to bed early. Like we're going to the fantasy suite tomorrow. And so he writes her a love song. And while he's doing it, the producers had to have been like, "What are you going over there for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna write her a love song because I'm in love with her." And they're like, "No, you're not." And they went and found her because she just got done with her thing where she's like, "I think I'm gonna like try and hook up with this guy who's hooking up with everybody in
Brandon,
the house."
Brandon's killing it.
Yeah, Brandon the Marine guy who like he looks like an older version of one of the bad guys from Mighty Ducks. Like he looks like one of them grew
I think
up.
it looks like he should be based out of the 50s.
Yeah, like fucking one of
Right?
the guys at the Greasers.
James Dean. Are those two different people?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like
Anyway.
he looks like he should be snapping in the alleyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And hey, you came down the wrong alley, see? He pulls out a switchblade. And then his posse comes down from the fire escape. Anyways. um, so yeah, she like just got done. So she made out with Sheridan on the date, and then she comes home, makes out with Marine guy. I'm gonna
makes
call him
out with
Greaser guy.
Sheridan. Makes out with Julie is her name. Makes out with
Yeah,
Sheridan
and
at
then
the front door.
and then
Door.
Sheridan's outside writing her a love song, and she comes up and she's like, "Hey, had a lot of fun. Um, I'm gonna explore things with other guy, with Greaser guy," and he's like, "What?"
God, dude, that was painful to watch.
Yeah, it was hard, man. It was hard. And then she goes on to just fucking like she like just full on goes after this guy, deep throating him with her tongue. Um,
She said, "I have one shot and it's right now," and she jumped on him and started just tongue fucking him so hard.
yeah.
Awful.
And then and then and then what really pisses me off. So this whole thing comes full circle back to Sheridan. Um, so after all this, then he picks a different girl to go, or does the girl pick him to go on a date? How does this work? Did the girl pick him to go on the date when they went to the dinner thing?
He picked her. Wait,
He picked her.
I don't know. How's
So
balls
yeah,
Chipotle
he
burrito?
picks he picks a girl that's not the girl that Sheridan's in love
No,
with.
she takes him. That's it. She takes him. Sorry.
Okay, she picks him anyways. So cystic fibrosis girl gets left out of this date while he goes on the date with new girl. And then it comes down and guys, so the guys are giving the roses, right? And this dude, so greaser guy picks new girl instead of cystic fibrosis girl. So naturally I'm like she's gone. Like she comes to me after she hooks up with me on a date, and then she goes and hooks up with greaser guy. She's done. She's done. I'm moving on. Like I would literally pick
You write
the
her off immediately. They don't want anything to do. It's embarrassing. You're done.
yeah. I would like if I had a rose and she was the last girl standing there, I'd be like, I picked the host. Like if anything, not you, the host. Like what's his name, Chris Harrison or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I picked Chris. Like fuck you. I'd rather go gay than this girl.
Then all of a sudden,
Um,
Chris is on the show singing. That'd be great, actually.
yeah. I'd be like, not you because you hooked up with greaser guy and you have cystic fibrosis, and I'm picking Chris. But he does not do that, and he picks her. He looks like the biggest punk bitch on national TV and
He's the
picks this
last
girl.
person to give a rose, and he has what? There's four girls standing there,
Yeah,
and he
he had choices. Like he didn't even have to pick Chris
They
Harrison. Like
had,
he
they
could have
had
picked a girl.
they had the whole bay of people who already had given the rose and everything. It's like, there's no way he picks Julia. There's no way. Fucking Julia walks back with Sheridan, walks over. Brandon, greaser guy, he goes, "What do you say?" I'm like, I'm happy you're here. We have a lot to figure out. He says to Julia,
Yeah. Then
"Fuck."
after he picks her, she makes him look she makes Sheridan look like a bitch again and goes straight up to the other guy that she was hooking up with, greaser guy, and she's like, "Oh, we still got a lot to work through." And then he's like, "Yeah, for sure." Like unbelievable.
And then she goes, "Are you serious?
Unbelievable.
He's gonna say that to me after he just picked another girl? Like that means he's like still into me. Like God, literally 2 minutes beforehand, he picked you. Sheridan saved you. Sheridan, you poor bastard. You're a
It's
fan
gonna
favorite.
cost him.
You are
I'm
gonna
telling you, it's gonna come back and it's gonna cost him. He's not gonna make it through the next episode because no girl's gonna pick him.
probably not.
Because he didn't take a risk on a girl that might actually like him. So
Well, think about the great songs he'll be able to write after this heartbreak.
oh my god, that
He'll be
love
able to
song
find
that
a
he wrote, that love song that he wrote on the couch, that verse 2 turned into a fucking hate ballad.
hit.
Man, that's gonna be a banger.
Dude, it's so sad to watch that shit go down, and I, it's just wild. That one, Chris and Bree, the black guy and the white girl, when they went to the Guitar Center and they were improvising a song. Did you watch that part?
Yeah, kind of. I was cooking actually when that part. I did a lot of stuff while this was happening, but yeah, I remember that part happening. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I think they actually might have what it takes, but I mean, all in all, the show's odd. It's I would love to see if they incorporate some of those people into Bachelor in Paradise. That'd be fucking fantastic. Sheridan just walks out with like a his hair up and like
and an accordion.
Julia's already there. She's like, fuck. Like,
And Sheridan's just like, I won't go away, just like your cystic fibrosis, playing his accordion.
something
That's
like
not a good accordion. Yeah, I'm not. I don't make a good accordion sound. I would need to listen to it more, and I
well,
haven't practiced.
I gotta continue to watch that show. It's good follow up. It was blowing
Yeah,
up
I
on
know.
Twitter. Excited to see what goes next. I mean, also on Twitter earlier, I thought it was a joke, like someone carried on like the April Fool's thing or this whole. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. I said, dude, I don't know what the hell's going on. I talked to one of my clients today, and she's telling me how much of a hoax this whole thing is. She's in Oklahoma City. She was like, well, my best friend owns a restaurant, and they had like 4 surgeons in there, and the surgeons were saying it's just a hoax. I'm like,
I
okay.
don't know what that means. Like that people are faking this.
Yeah, and I was like, so what do you mean? And so she's like, well, they've said that they've only been like a couple cases in Oklahoma City, and it's ruining everything. I'm like, all right, good talk. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm not fucking enjoying being trapped. I'm sitting at the desk that I sit in day in and day out. Anyway,
Yeah, that's that's like
save that for a minute. Okay.
like I heard I was watching Dave Portnoy actually said they were talking about people protesting it. He's like, it's the only thing I've ever seen people protest where there's nobody against them. Like they're out there protesting and everybody's like, yeah, we don't want to do this too, but you're making it longer. Like we're gonna be in here longer. Like nobody wants to be doing this, but like we all have to, and you're making it worse. So
I love the things where it's like they're like they realize a protest in an empty building. Like,
like God, like
have you seen the people that are fully like AR'd out? Like they have an AR strapped across their
yeah,
chest.
why do you need a gun?
Good.
Why do you need a gun?
I don't know. Like that's literally they're making it seem like a purge is coming, and I'm getting a little alarmed.
Well, I mean, like the whole economy thing is kind of scary, but like, I
The whole
mean,
bill? The oil dropping to 69 cents a barrel on 420.
I'm cool with that. But like
Fucking, it's awful. It's,
I'm okay with that. Like I like the cheap gas thing. Um it's just like I like the everything else. Like the longer we're closed, the more things are gonna close for good forever. And so I mean, it's just like when is it worth going back out? I mean,
I mean, I've already told my boss, like, I'm not going back to work in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna be working in the office.
yeah, I mean, like extend it
Make me,
for
fucking make me. You like, you got more
like
to say.
there should be a day where like we sit down, like they sit down, we sit down as a country, and they're like, okay, 8 p.m. Everybody. Thursday, like they'll be like Wednesday, 8 p.m. I know nobody has anything to do because everything's closed. So everybody's gonna sit down and you're gonna pull out a phone and you're gonna take your app out and everybody's gonna vote on whether we open shit back up or not. And if everybody votes it, then we're making that choice as a group. And people can do it if they want. If not, then they can stay home. But I mean, some people got to get back to work because like you can only go so long without making money, without making money. So
One of the things I've seen is people making the, like, all the, so a couple restaurants are open down here. I don't fucking know what one. Everyone I call seems to be closed to try to get some goddamn takeout. Um, B-Dubs is open. I don't fucking want B-Dubs. Like, that's one of the only things that's open right now. Trust me, the Detroit location is not the best. But they're making their, like, their famous homemade or their famous mixed drinks that you can get for takeout, which I don't see. Why would I want to go to a craft cocktail place to get a fucking craft cocktail in a styrofoam cup that I have to drive
yeah,
home and drink?
yeah, it's not worth it.
Hey, can I get fucking 6 old fashions? Um, what do you do? Is come back and put all these in a fridge? Like, it's gonna get watered down. It makes no sense to me why they're promoting this. I get that it's a good idea to try to keep people buying and, a bartender employed, but it doesn't really add up or make sense to me.
I agree, but I don't know.
Got to go to this party.
I hope it's just. I hope we all just move on from this in the next month or two. Everything goes back to normal. We'll see what happens. I mean, people are gonna die. Hate to say it, people are gonna die, and then we just gotta move on. So
We're the island
that's
life.
my take
I agree, but I hope sports get back on because
today. Gronk trade.
traded the Buccaneers.
Gronk and a 7th round pick go to Tampa Bay for a 4th round pick. I believe. I mean, players that are retired don't often get traded.
You have to explain to me
Um,
how the contract and how that works exactly.
well, yeah, he still has 1 year on his contract at about $10 million, which is actually a pretty big cap hit. For tight end, he so he's I the contract still works while you're retired, basically, but when you're tired, it doesn't really count as much towards the team's cap. It's kind of like how the Pistons paid Josh Smith for like 10 years after they cut him for $5.5 million, which is where they're off the books this year. But so they trade Gronk to Tampa Bay for a 4th round pick, which by the way, they also traded a 4th round pick for Randy Moss. That's how they got Randy Moss.
Really?
Yeah. So all I'm gonna say is Bill Belichick has gotten more out of 4th round picks than probably anybody ever.
Then the Browns have gotten out of first round picks.
Yeah, and in my opinion, this year's a wash for the Patriots, anyways. Like they're gonna bring they're gonna go into the stadium or the stadium. They're gonna go in the season with Jarrett Stidham as their starter, I think, who sat for a year behind Brady, and then they're gonna evaluate after the year, like, is this our guy? Is this not our guy? And they'll still win. Like I say, they win a minimum 8 games this year, and
Really?
then yeah, because that's how good their defense is. And like just Belichick, like when Brady was suspended for 4 games that year, and then Garoppolo went down, I think after like the first game,
Hey, who was playing?
first or second game, second
Who
when
was
Brady got suspended for the Deflategate thing.
took over for Garoppolo.
Yeah, then Garoppolo went down, and then Jacoby Brissett, who was like a
That's
sixth
not
round
what-
pick that year, like that was his rookie year. He came in and he won both games with like 100 passing yards in both games. Like they just were like running like weird like quarterback run plays where like he would like get open, get like a 15-yard run. Like, they'd somehow win the game just off of defense. So I think Stidham's a better quarterback than Brissett, I think, but I know crazy because he's getting paid big bucks at the Colts. But we'll see what happens there. But like worst case scenario, they suck and they tank and they get like the first overall pick or like in the top 5 and they're able to move up a little bit and they just take Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields and they're set for the next 20 years again.
Yeah.
Like one bad year for 20 more good years, like everybody would take that every time. So uh my my final analysis would be both teams got better. Tampa Bay is only in the short term with Brady, anyways. Like Brady's probably only got max like 3 or 4 more years, I'd say, because everybody's saying, "Oh, 45 is the year that he's going to quit." But like 40, like what he said, he didn't say 45. He said, "When I start sucking, I'll quit." So he still hasn't started sucking.
Could be this year.
Um,
Could be that
I
huge
mean,
Tampa Air.
this year he has the most offensive talent he's ever had. And that includes, I think that includes the '07 Patriots, the undefeated Patriots team with Randy Moss, Wes Welker, and all those guys. Gronk,
They're going to do with
or did they have Gronk? I can't remember, but I think this team's better. No, they did not have Gronk that year. Oh, my bad, my bad.
Is he
But I
going to
think this is better than that team.
run it with OJ Howard and Gronk like he did with Gronk and Hernandez?
Yeah, and I mean, I still think OJ Howard might get traded. Like, there's a strong possibility.
How long
I
is he?
never like to like. I don't put any weight behind like potential trades because you never know. Like, you never know if they're saying like, "Oh, we want like a second round pick for OJ Howard." Nobody's going to give them that. So you
What do
don't
you
know if
think
they're going to be
it's
like,
done
"Okay,
for?
we'll take a fifth."
It's insane what this has done for Tampa Bay's, first of all, name in the NFL, like just overall mark, just everything has
Oh
gone
yeah,
up.
oh yeah.
Like one of the big things that they were all blowing up by the news is Tom Brady asked to leave the stadium today when he went to go try work out.
No, that was a private park. Well, it was a public park, but it was closed.
I thought it was, oh, really? Who the
Yeah.
fuck? I don't understand. I don't know. Where do you think that they're gonna predictions for where they'll land if there is a season? Are they progressing through the playoffs? Are they making the playoffs? What's it gonna be like? Are they Super Bowl contenders?
Where the Bucks end up, I mean, I think playoffs minimum. I think it's realistic. Like it's still early to tell because the draft still has to happen, but I think they're definitely one of the front runners in the NFC. I mean, San Francisco hasn't fallen off that much. The Saints still have a really good team. I mean, there's still a lot of good teams in the NFC. The NFC is very deep, so the Packers are really good still.
Lions.
Yeah. I mean, the Lions are going to come out of nowhere. Lions are coming out of nowhere. So, yeah. I mean, it's still a long shot. I mean, so yeah. I mean, they have a chance to go far. Obviously, with Brady, you have a chance to win every game. So and a huge issue with that they had last year, and they still won 8 games last year, was just Jameis Winston throwing picks and getting sacked.
Hey,
Like that was
he
like
did.
I don't think people realize how much like 30 picks was like by far the most after anybody who was a competitive quarterback. And then the amount of times he was sacked was far more than anybody else who was sacked, who was a competitive quarterback. So, and that's not his offensive line's fault completely. That's him just like not being able to get the ball out, like taking longer drops and waiting for plays to develop and not being smart about it, dumping down, which Brady rarely takes sacks.
Is he still
Again,
a free agent or is he?
yeah, Jameis still a free agent, Cam Newton's still a free agent. So, and that's my that would be my analysis of the or not the Brady trade, the Gronk trade. If you want to
Oh,
hear more about my,
I wonder how fast these jerseys are gonna be made and bought.
oh, dude, yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna have any other kind of jersey in Tampa Bay for sure.
And also, didn't Gronk drop like 20 or 30 pounds? Like, is he gonna get back
Yeah,
in?
that's what they said, but also like a source close to Gronk or whatever said that he put it all back on.
Tom Brady,
They said he's ready to go.
Tom Brady, the source.
I mean, maybe I don't know who the source is. I saw it. Somebody sourced it like Gronk is ready to go right now. I'll play football. Like he's in football shape, ready to go. Um,
Well, good for him, man.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. Um, first episode of Number One City Sports podcast, my show that I do by myself. The mock draft episode just dropped yesterday.
Hey,
Um, yeah, that one. So if you want any more outlook on my picks,
I've been
that is out there.
I've been watching all the things with all the setups that these GMs and everyone have.
Oh
After
yeah,
it's ridiculous. The one that I sent you, that big cat tweet, I was like, this is gonna go terrible, whatever. Like,
the,
is it?
the Lions. The Lions. Bob Quinn's gonna have his IT guy out in a Winnebago in his driveway. It's kind of genius. Like he's just like out there like running shop, Just like
Can
I'm
you
picturing
imagine
he
this?
has like just screens everywhere and he's just like just running just numbers on all the screens, just
Someone
numbers
shit
and
just gets
graphs.
frozen. Someone shit just submission gets frozen and it just goes to auto draft.
I saw somebody tweet that like hopefully my team doesn't get stuck on auto draft. Like, yeah, like that's something that would happen to like the Browns or you know
The Lions for sure.
yeah, like Jacksonville gets auto drafted a kicker. Like you don't have a kicker on the roster. The auto draft automatically picks if you don't have any holes filled. So you got a kicker.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun to watch. When's that start tomorrow? Oh wait, hold on. What day?
Thursday. Today's Tuesday. It starts Thursday.
Oh man,
I'm really interested to see how it goes. So pretty pumped. Pretty pumped.
with how shitty my week has gone the past probably 2 weeks. Probably this will be the third week of it being really shitty. I my days are all fucked up. I thought today was Wednesday for the majority of the day. I've continually am getting my shit kicked in at work.
Oh, I feel you there. Awful at work.
I don't know what else. If I've been doing this type of work for 5 years now, how the fuck am I going to do it for another 30 years?
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm at 3 years and I'm at the same point.
It's it's so sad. I
Yeah, no, it's sad how bad they make it.
on this episode, I think because I partook in some 420 activities after my day of work because I was so stressed out. I was awful, but even after trying to relax and do that, my phone's fucking blowing up all the time with people bitching at me like I'm some whipping boy for my
Yeah.
professional corporate career, and it is just absolutely asinine.
Oh, like I mean, I don't know how often you get talked down to, but I get like talked like it's pretty much my job to just take getting talked down to. Like just like kind of take it, turn the other cheek, and then just keep going, That's kind of all it is.
The thing is, I'll tell someone what needs to be done, and they'll go over my head, and then the person they go over the head to circles back to me, like to my
Yes.
VP, and they'll be like, "Hey, why aren't you handling this?" It's like I did. Like, why the fuck are they calling me and like telling me this is happening? It's like I don't know.
Yeah, you're like I don't even know there's an issue. Like
I'm on an
nobody
email.
told me there's an issue.
I'm on an email with my VP and my fucking clients, having to defend myself to both people. It's awful. I was like, I fucking thought I was chilling. I thought I was cool. The next 3, 4 hours of my day, I'm dealing with the same shit. It's just, man, this shit better work.
Oh my gosh.
There is no plan
These
B.
I know. I'm gonna start a like you were saying, I'm gonna start a PR firm for politicians. That's the only other thing I can really do.
I mean, you'd be great at it.
I mean, yeah, it's basically all I do is just
Be the
defend other
PR
people's
person,
idiotic decisions all day.
but not the politician because that's when they dig up dirt on you and shit. And
Yeah, I mean, I just I'm good at just defending and deflecting things, defending stories, deflecting criticism. I
I
mean,
mean, the issue
it's
is
what
the
I'm
same with
best at.
me and countless other people's and similar jobs to us. Is that we're just defending ourselves over things that we can't control.
Yeah, you're the middleman. You're literally in an office in a different city from where everything's happening, and you're just like, yeah, dude, sorry. Like, I mean, I can email them again. I mean, I don't think it'll make things go faster, but I can do it. I can call them. They're probably not going to answer, but I can try. And then they're like, why aren't they answering? And you're like, I don't know. Maybe should I call them and check why they're not answering?
My boss is like, "You, why aren't you getting these people on the phone?" Like, I don't know. I've even been texting them. I've been calling off my cell phone.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know
I
what people expect these days. I don't know. I don't know how so many people are just okay with living in these lifestyles, but yeah, I'm really not. So I'm happy we're getting this started. We got merch coming hopefully soon.
need to see when that's gonna be delivered. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
They're
We
gonna
got
be.
merch. We
They're
got
gonna be.
logos. We
I'd
got
probably.
website coming.
I'd say by episode like probably 15 they'll be here. I don't
Perfect.
know. I don't know what's faster if I buy a screen like a t-shirt printing machine myself.
That would be kind of cool and it would save overhead.
I wasn't being facetious. I can write that shit off. Like
I'm serious. I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious right now. I know everything I says sounds sarcastic, but
I will make a how to make a what is it called? Screen print? That's all right.
yeah.
Printing
Have you
press
seen that video? There's a video on Instagram of guys making shirts with like
irons,
yeah, like an iron and
saran wrap
saran wrap, yeah.
in a
I don't know
picture.
if that's what the brand I don't know if that's the branding quality we want to present.
Do an iron on to do this thing where I put the ink on and I like pick it up. Then it looks fun.
Anyways, this is more of a business meeting now than it is a podcast. So yeah, this has been the podcast for not April 18th, April 21st. Third episode of the podcast. I mean, yeah, I mean it was a good one. I enjoyed it. Shane enjoyed it. We will catch you next time. Over and out.
Peace.